As parents, the anticipation of becoming empty nesters brings mixed emotions, excitement for new freedoms and quiet time, but also a sense of loss as children leave home. For years, we had imagined how life would be when our two kids, now grown and ready to embark on their own journeys, flew the coop. But just as we were preparing to step into this next phase, my husband made a decision that turned our world upside down. The build-up to the empty nest. For nearly 2 decades, our lives revolved around raising our children. From school events and weekend soccer games to late-night homework help and family vacations, our household was a lively hub of activity. But as our kids entered college and started making independent plans, my husband and I found ourselves at the threshold of an unfamiliar chapter, life without the constant presence of our children. I had already started mentally redecorating the spare bedrooms and planning long overdue trips. My husband, Dave, and I spoke about reigniting hobbies we had set aside for years. He would finally restore the classic car in the garage, and I would get back into painting. It was a time to rediscover ourselves as a couple, free from the daily grind of parenting. Or so I thought. The shocking revelation. One evening, just weeks before our youngest was set to move into his college dorm, Dave dropped a bombshell on me. Over dinner, with a nervous smile, he said, "I've been thinking about something. It's a big decision, but I feel it's the right one." I braced myself, not knowing what to expect. A job change? A cross-country move? Something involving the car? "We should adopt," he said simply. My fork clattered to my plate. Adopt? Now? Just as we were about to enjoy the freedom we hadn't had in years? I was stunned. This wasn't part of the plan. We had put in the work, survived sleepless nights and teenage angst. Adopting a child, especially at our age, had never even crossed my mind. And yet, as Dave spoke with increasing conviction about his desire to give a child a home, I realized he had been thinking about this for some time. From shock to understanding. At first, I couldn't wrap my head around the idea. We were nearing 50. Our friends were traveling, downsizing, and hosting backyard parties without a worry in the world. The idea of starting over, with diapers and daycare and parent-teacher conferences, seemed impossible. But Dave wasn't swayed. "There are so many kids out there who need homes," he said. "We've done this before. We know what it takes. And think of the difference we could make." Gradually, I saw the depth of his commitment. He wasn't looking to disrupt our lives on a whim. He genuinely wanted to give another child the opportunity to experience a loving family. As I researched adoption stories and learned more about the process, I began to see it through his eyes. It wasn't just about us or the life we were leaving behind. It was about giving back, using the experience we had to offer something special to a child in need. A new beginning. After many long conversations, consultations with adoption agencies, and discussions with our own children, we made the decision to move forward with the adoption process. It wasn't easy. There were logistical, emotional, and financial hurdles to consider. But once we were both on the same page, it felt right. As we went through the application process, the prospect of welcoming another child into our home became more real. And the surprising thing? The excitement I had originally felt about empty nest life slowly began to morph into anticipation of this new adventure. A change for the better. Today, as we prepare for the arrival of a young child who will soon join our family, the concept of an empty nest feels like a distant memory. My husband's shocking decision, which initially left me in disbelief, has reshaped our lives in ways I never expected. In the end, Dave's decision wasn't just about adopting a child. It was about redefining our family's future and embracing the unexpected. Instead of slowing down, we're gearing up for a new chapter, one filled with fresh challenges and joys we hadn't planned for.